The whole format was about information battles and who was using it better. But when you get into a fight where somebody knows exactly what you're thinking the entire time, where do you go afterwards?
When I think about the Purple versus LA matchup, it was pretty fun to watch. They had a lot of fun, you know, Purple.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna beat him in the patron mirror, but I'm gonna beat him in the patron mirror.
And Zale's talking about
pretty unlikely.
You heard them joking back and forth a lot about it, but if you know these guys and you pay attention to what's being said between the lines, neither one of these guys wanted to lose to the other one. They're one door down from each other. I mean, no one wants to lose to their teammate when you have to see him every morning at breakfast. I mean, that little jab they give you, like, you remember our match? You remember when I got you? No one wants to deal with that.
They took the gameplay extremely seriously, but afterwards, Purple acted as Zale in the winner's interview.
I really love the new hairstyle you got going. It looks great on you.
It looks better now. I always wanted to look like my friend Purple.
It was very Purple to watch. It was exactly what you'd expected from him. You saw teammates really reflect each other's personalities in those matches. Like, I look at the Dignitas fight, for instance, between Kranich and Green Sheep. Both of those guys were just having fun with it, and they were laughing the entire time. You got a sense of how good of friends they actually were.
Then there's like the other end too. You had the Jab and Muzzy match. That one had a lot more somber feeling. I mean, these guys, you could tell when Jab beat Muzzy that he felt like he might have been putting the nail in his coffin, and that, you know, Muzzy might not make it from here. You're happy to win, but it's a very bittersweet moment. You want the best for your teammate. And if you do lose to them, it's probably the easiest loss you'll probably ever take in your career.
I don't think he'll feel too bad about it, because you can't feel that terrible about losing the top decks to a teammate of yours. So.
You're like, oh man, I lost. But yeah, one of my best friends won this one. My teammate got it, and that's still good for my team, even though it's not good for my personal record.
You know, ECOP was in a really interesting position because partway through the season, he had lost his teammate. So at that point, he was carrying the weight of the entire team solely on his shoulders. RDU came in partway through the season to replace that teammate, and he was in this exact same position. Those are kind of big roles to fill when you don't have someone else you can rely on to put your team in a good spot. You're individual at this point.
These kind of things happen, and in a professional environment, you have to adapt and just keep playing.
And when you look at teams like Fnatic, you know, they had Caldi representing them here, and then what a great sport Powder was. They were lucky to have a player of that caliber represent them. You know, it's just unfortunate the way things worked out as the season went on.
Partway through the season, we saw Team Fnatic disband their Hearthstone roster.
You gotta feel for Caldi having to go through that. You know, what a professional. It never seemed to bother him.
There's always stuff to fight for, even if it's 11th place or 8th place or 5th place, you know. It's matters.
He never made excuses, showed up, went to work, played his heart out, and just came up barely short this season.
These four in particular, part of the struggle that they faced in this is that they were kind of just facing it alone. How does that stack the odds against you? That's a position that I would not want to find myself in personally, where you're just kind of at a disadvantage based purely on what's going on around you.
The depression, the Hearthstone depression, let's just say it. I mean, I've seen players come back from where I'm at right now, and I hope I can achieve the same and do my best to get to those playoffs.
Regardless of the outcome, it's how much preparation you had, how much you understood the spots you were in. The people you choose to practice with, ideally, are the people that you think are the best. The opportunity to play against them, I think, is a wonderful opportunity and something that I look forward to very often.